In Chinese culture, a civil official at the emperor's court was called xiang, meaning prime minister, while a military official was called jiang, or general. In the imperial court, the emperor sits facing south with his back to the north. Civil officials were arranged to the east of the room, while military officials were arranged to the west. The west corresponds to the element of metal in the Chinese theory of 5 elements, and in terms of direction, it represents downwardness. Therefore, when Chinese people make jiang, or sauce, it is generally done in the autumn, because autumn is also associated with the element of metal and downwardness. In ancient Chinese culture, acts of pickling, preserving, and making sauces is associated with these energies. Thus, jiang, meaning sauce, and jiang, meaning to descend, are homophones. Meanwhile, jiang, or a reward, also conveys the idea of something being granted or awarded from a person of a higher position to someone of a lower position. The Jinggu Bang, or golden staff, and the Huoyan Jingjing, or the fiery golden eyes of the Monkey King in the classical Chinese novel Journey to the West, both feature the character Jin, meaning metal. This subtly alludes to the Monkey King traveling west and being good at xiang, or subduing demons. Today, let's start from the south. The south corresponds to the element fire, is represented by the color red, and corresponds to the upwards direction. The immortal He, or crane, has a bit of red on its head, so colors close to red, such as brown, are called He, and red itself becomes the word Chi. When 2 characters for Chi are written together, they form the character He, meaning bright or illustrious. Thus, we say someone has a xian he, or illustrious, position. Of course, red, especially a blood-like red, can also symbolize fear. For this reason, red lights have the meaning of he zu, or to scare or to warn. When Chinese people get married, red is also often used. So to wish the newlyweds blessings, we use the term he, or congratulations. The graceful appearance of the immortal crane standing tall is also similar to the appearance of a he, lotus flower. A closed lotus flower has a bit of pink at its top, similar to the he, or crane, having some red feathers on its head, and it also resembles grain stalks, he. Of course, a person's lips are also red. The mouth is used to he, or drink water. And when asking questions, it's phrased as 为何, why, 如何, how, 何人, who, 何地, where, 何时, when, and 何者, which one. Speaking endlessly without care is called 信口开河. When the upper and lower lips are tightly closed, it is called 合上嘴, or closing the mouth. When a door is tightly shut, it is called 合上门. Now, 和尚 also means monks, and they are people who often keep quiet and say little. Things that are always closed include a 盒子, box. The fruit core, 果核, has seams that fit together very precisely without a gap, which in Chinese can be called 严丝合缝. This is similar to when we conduct an inspection, where every number and item must be 核准 or approved. Sentencing someone works the same way and is referred to as 核. If there is dissatisfaction with the president, the 联合 or united majority can proceed with 弹劾 or impeachment. Words with the pronunciation k and s, like kiss, are related to the mouth. The English word for 盒子, box, can also be called a case. Cuisine refers to food, and brothers and sisters who can dine together at a table are called cousins. Cast means to pour or shape, and the dimensions of a mold must also 吻合 or fit together. To close someone in tightly is called keeping someone in custody, and clothes that are well fitted and suitable for one's identity are called costumes. These are all English words that are related to each other. Of course, no matter how tightly the mouth is closed, there is still a seam in the middle, and a similar deep crack is called 沟壑, or a gorge or ravine. The Chinese do not like division or fragmentation, as this would lead to confrontation, intensify contradictions, and even trigger war. Therefore, the Chinese often say 和为贵. Harmony is precious. And peace, like cultivating 禾 or grain, requires hard work and is hard to come by. The phrase 君子和而不同, meaning gentlemen are harmonious but not identical, means that even when opinions are not the same, a gentleman will still interact with others peacefully. During the Warring States period, the state of Zhao faced the powerful enemy state of Qin. The leading general, Lian Po, and the head of the civil officials, Ling Xiangru, created a timeless tale of 将相和, meaning the harmony between the general and the prime minister, which united the rulers and officials of Zhao in a shared effort to defend their country. At first, Lian Po could not understand why Ling Xiangru always humbled himself and yielded to him. He thought that Ling Xiangru must be afraid of him. But in reality, Ling Xiangru had no fear, even when facing the fearsome king of the Qin state, who terrified the entire world. Ling Xiangru never competed with Lian Po because he was afraid that the Qin would find out that the civil and military officials of Zhao were not in harmony and would take advantage of the rift. Later, Lian Po realized that Ling Xiangru was putting the greater good first, and he felt ashamed of himself. So, he came to Ling Xiangru with a bundle of thorn branches to apologize, which is the famous story of 负荆请罪, or offering a bundle of thorns as an apology. 荆棘, thorns and brambles, generally refers to plants with sharp, prickly thorns that are easy to injure oneself with. The famous general of the Three Kingdoms, Lü Bu, used a weapon called the 方天画戟, which had a sharp tip used for 击, or striking enemy generals. Its long shape resembled a 戟, or an oar, which is used to propel a boat forward and can 击 or stir up waves. The tip of an animal's horn, 犄角, is also sharp and can easily injure a person. When two opponents charge at each other head-on, like two oxen locking their 犄角 horns together, it means they are not yielding in conversation and are 计较, or arguing. The 脊, or spine, resembles one long segment made up of many connected smaller segments. The two ends of a column are called the 极, or extremes. The Earth, being a magnet, has a 北极, North Pole, and a 南极, South Pole. The edge of a territory, meanwhile, is called a 际, boundary. A relationship that crosses national borders is considered 国际, international. Crossing a river by boat is also called 际, and it leaves behind trails, 迹, of waves. When many boats cross together, they leave 浪迹, waves. To go through difficult times together is expressed as 同舟共济, which means to share a boat and help each other. In traditional Chinese culture, using a heavenly boat to save good people from an evil world is called 济世.